Close. Close. Mastering Madden.
A couple of videos I showed you guys an extension of the big nickel over G loop defense with the nickel wide 9 double loop defense. It was pretty interesting, but it had some kinks that needed to be worked out, namely with inconsistent loops and also really mostly just that, and then also kind of the run defense. But I think I've kind of worked those out, and what I found is that the best way to get looping defense, from what I found, is out of the nickel double A gap. So not nickel 245 double A gap, it has to be nickel double A gap. And really you can pick any of these plays with some simple adjustments. We can get both sides of the defensive line looping in, so that we don't have to worry about slide protection or extra blockers on one side. We can always get one of those guys coming in. So yeah, it's a nickel double A gap. I will say I'm in Philadelphia Eagles playbook. I'm sure a few of these have it, but what's good about this is you have the nickel double A gap. Of course, you have big nickel over G, and then you also have the 4-4 split from the last video, where you can have this LB fire, the +1 blitz. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Obviously, like I've said many times, you want the most speed that you can get. This isn't a lot of speed, like Aaron Donald is one of the fastest guy on the Legends team, but you know, in MUT you can get much faster guys. So we can just go into anything like cover 3 show 2 here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And we can come out in, let's say, gun bunch. And let's say hat sail, I guess. So the adjustments are pretty straightforward here. Is just pinch your defensive line, spread your linebackers, and slant your defensive line out. Okay, so now again you have two three techniques here that are going to be looping around their respective defensive ends. Now, the problems that I found with the nickel wide 9, first of all, you had to touch the defensive end here. You had to move him inside, and that could have taken a little bit of time to set up. You know, you could have got quick snapped and you couldn't have got that set up. For this version, you don't have to do that at all. Okay, so it's just pinching the defensive ends in, spreading your linebackers, and slanting your defensive line out. There's a couple other things too. So you don't need to touch the defensive end, like I said there. You don't need to settle in position. So you can start doing adjustments right out of the gate. So you just quickly, there's 3 adjustments, so there's a couple more I'll kind of go into here. The reason why I spread my linebackers, other than for run defense, and we'll get to that towards the end of the end of the video, why it's important. If your opponent slide protects and your middle linebackers, your inside linebackers are in the A gaps there, it kind of ruins everything. I don't know why, but it does. So we just move those guys out because it's better against run fits. Doesn't look like you're bringing the heat, and it's better against slide protection. We'll kind of go into that. Other thing is you usually have to move your slot quarterback depending on the formation. So in this case, he's too close to the defensive end here, and then it'll mess up everyone's animations. So in this case, I'll just move him out a little bit, or if your defense is misaligned and you're not auto flipping, and your nickel is on the other side, he's going to be lined up right there on the left defensive end. You still got to move him. So make sure you move him, otherwise he's going to mess up the animations. The last thing is, on certain plays in an actual game, not in practice mode, so like plays like halfback wheel, or really I think anything where the running back is on a table route or a swing route or a wheel route or something like that, and this applies to big nickel over G as well, is that it messes up all the animations on that side. So you'll never get the loop, you'll never get the speed rush animation, and you're just going to be kind of dead in the water. So they don't have to block anything extra, they don't have to slide protect. Just that one route from the running back messes everything up. What I've noticed though is if you change your pass rush to conservative, and again this is just in-game speaking, it's going to negate that. So you're going to get the loop animation every time. You're not going to get that speed rush animation. Half the time you get the speed rush from the end, and the other half you get the loop. In this case, you get the loop every single time. So you don't get that speed rush, which is a nice animation, but at least you avoid the situation where a running back on that certain route will negate that for you. So those are things to keep in mind. Other things, it's not going to work against play action, just like the big nickel over G, just like any other looping blitzes. Play action is going to negate it totally. So keep that in mind if your opponent's running like PA crossers every single play, there's no really reason to run this. Okay, so must make those adjustments that I was saying. Must move this guy, change your pass rush to conservative, and watch out for play action. Okay, so let's go ahead and just run this against everybody out on routes. You see that? Okay, so we get the loop on the right side, and then we get the speed rush animation on the left side. Okay, so now, and let's do it again. So pinch our defensive line, spread our inside linebackers, and slant them out. Also move this guy because things are going to get kind of muddied up otherwise. Again, we're going to put 5 out on routes, but we're going to slide protect one way. So the smart players online will see big nickel over G and they'll slide protect their offensive line towards the 3 technique, but in this case you have 2 3 techniques that can loop around. So if you slide protect to the right, sure, your center will go help out over there and you won't be able to loop, but on the left side you'll still have it just like that. And sure, sometimes you'll still get a little bounce and you'll get a little bit of a half second delay, but he's still going to get through there. Likewise, let's go again, 5 out on routes. Slide protect to the left. Move this guy out of the way. Left is negated, but the right comes through. Okay, so really the big thing about this is that you're increasing your chance of that loop coming through, especially against smarter opponents that are going to slide protect. So now, what if they add the running back into the mix? So the running back, is going to decrease your chances a little bit. So say if the center goes on one side and the running back goes on the other side, things can get picked up. However, they can still come in. So you see in this case he picked up the loop, but he wasn't there to be able to help out on the speed rush animation. And then we can keep doing that to show you that sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. More often than not, it will work. So we got 6-man blocking against 4-man pass rush. Again, the loop comes in. The loop is helped out on the left. However, the other guy on that loop side gets a disengage, and then still on the right side there you get the speed rush on the right. So really, 6-man blocking is going to be tough. Other things you can do, and I kind of went over these same things in the nickel wide 9, but I kind of want to go over it again because I think it is actually a good defense to run. Okay, yeah, slide. One thing I will note is that your conservative pass rush, what I've noticed online is that, first of all, they'll start off with contains, which will be negated when you slant out. But sometimes, like partway through the play, they'll go back to their contains. So just keep an eye on that. Maybe just like keep slanting out throughout the pre-play just to make sure that you're good. Other things you can do, if you notice that your opponent is blocking running back and things aren't really coming in for you, or they're smart, they're blocking and slide protecting one way, you can just blitz this linebacker here. So you're only blitzing 5, but now they have a loop plus a blitz to choose and, pick your poison there. It's either you block inside, you're free outside, or you block outside and you're free inside. So that's something to keep in mind. You can also do like a pseudo green dog blitz type of thing where you're manning up one of your linebackers on the running back, and then if you notice him going out on a route, well, you just let that man coverage take him, which might be a waste of a defender. But if you notice him staying into block, you can just click in on the right stick, and then he'll kind of come there. I don't know if I set it up right, but it looks like the loops didn't come in there, which is sometimes going to happen. It's not the most amazing thing. I think in general, I think some people are looking for defenses that are like a catch-all. So you run this every single play and it should just be amazing and you don't have to worry about anything, you don't have to do anything. But at the end of the day, there'll never be a defense that's just amazing at everything, right? You can say like, oh, this route will kill this, or this route will kill this, or max protect will slide protect, and everything will negate it. That's if you're smart enough, which not everybody is, that you play online, or if they see it coming even. So if you are running this every single down, or if you are running the +1 blitz every single down, or you are running the big nickel over G every single down, people are going to start to pick up on those things and stop them. So it's not always going to be amazing for you, but I think it's something that's definitely interesting. Especially since, again, you're just pass rush 4 players here against 5 men blocking, and always one guy's going to come through, even if they're blocking the 6th. Okay, so yeah, not bad. I want to touch on just some run defense, because it is obviously, theoretically, I guess speaking, it is a poor run defense because, first of all, you don't have any defensive lineman in the A gap. You've taken out your nose tackle. How do I want to do this? Let's just pick one of these inside zone. So you have nobody in the A gap, especially since you've taken these. Actually, spreading the linebackers is better against the run because they don't want to be. You don't want to be caught up in the line of scrimmage, so they can kind of flow sideline to sideline if it is kind of a stretch play or if they bounce the inside zone out. But it also helps with the the offensive line targeting. So what's going to happen is, in this case, actually, you might have a tendency or a want to kind of hover around with your user linebacker in kind of the A gap bubbles here. But this is just a bad idea. So this is something you should really kind of focus on here, because what's going to happen there is that the right guard, the guard on the side of the running back, is going to target you, and then the center is going to target the other inside linebacker. So just like this, and then the running back's kind of free to go, and then it's really just up to your third level defenders. Instead, if you're kind of staying over here, kind of above the tackle, just kind of behind your defensive tackle there, the guard is going to target. I don't know if he targets you and then just ends up blocking the defensive tackle, or if he just targets the defensive tackle. But what's going to happen is it's going to be 2-on-1. So 2 linebackers on the center, and either the center will take this linebacker and then you're free to shoot the gap, or he takes you and then you just kind of take control of the other linebacker. So it'll be just like this, and you can shoot the gap just like that. Now, it still depends on how good you are in terms of making that tackle. So it's still not the best run defense, but if you want to be able to run this more than just on 3rd down or 4th down, this is going to be important to you, how you can do that. So let's see if we can get a situation where, so you do need to, there are ways that the guard can target you. So you just need to be a little bit patient. Let him engage with that defensive tackle, and then you're free over here to make a tackle in the backfield. Okay, guys, so again, to reiterate all the important points, because I don't want anybody in the comments saying, oh, it didn't work because of whatever, and then there's a clear reason why it didn't work out. So pinch the defensive line in. Again, they need to be closer to the 3 techs in order to get that loop. Spread your linebackers, or you can even move them out. Slant your defensive line out, so this is going to get you your double loop. And then if your slot defender is close to the defensive end, in this case he isn't, you're going to move him out. You can move him out every time if you want. Change your pass rush to conservative. And that's something you can do even if you're running the big nickel over G. If your opponent is running halfback wheel, stuff like that, and you don't want it to negate your loop, that's going to be something you want to do. And then, somebody's always going to come in. Okay, I hope you guys liked that one, and we'll see you guys in the next one.